when my skin was still basically wet with this, sometimes I would actually use this because the shine. Hello curly crew, it's Mary and welcome back to the Curly Closet. If it's your first time visiting my channel, then welcome, and of course if you're returning to my channel, then welcome back. So this is my part 2 of my Fenty Skin review. If you haven't seen the first part, then you can click the link up here to see the first part. That part was my first impressions of the Fenty Skin products, but today I am going to give you my, is it 2 or 3 weeks? 3 week update. I did say I was going to use it for about a week, I think. Yeah, I said I was going to use it for a week and then come back after a week, but to be honest, I was kind of in the flow. I was kind of enjoying the product so much, I just thought, you know what, let me just continue to use them for a bit longer so I can really see like how they really work after a couple of weeks. So just in case you're not aware of what the 3 products are, we have the Fenty Skin Total Cleanser. Then we have the Fenty Skin Fat Water. This is a pore refining toner serum. And then we have the moisturizer. This is the Hydra Visor moisturizer. So yes, I have used the products today. This is what I have on my skin. So if you see a bit of a glow going on, yes, it is from the Fenty Skin products. By the way, this channel is about all things natural hair, lifestyle and beauty. So if you like videos on those topics, as well as some skincare videos from time to time, then you can hit the red subscribe button below. You can also hit the bell for notifications. That way you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. Now let's get into the review. Sorry, 1 second. You just put a little Vaseline on my lip, you know. So to start off with, we have the Fenty Skin Total Cleanser. So if you look at the pack, you can see I've used a good amount of it, but there's a good amount of it still left. I'm going to start off by saying I love the packaging for this. Not just this, but all 3 of them. I feel like it was actually well thought through. If you didn't know already, it has a little twisty here, and then you squeeze the product out. And then when you're done, you just twist it back and it has a little click. It's very sleek, very easy to use. One thing that I started to do was when I unclicked it was to actually squeeze the product this way, and that way it's easy for me to kind of see on top how much I'm actually squeezing out. Because I enjoyed using this so much, I actually realized like I was almost like, in certain situations I was kind of overusing it. I love the smell. I love the feel of it on the skin. It feels very gentle. When I'm done using this, I feel like my skin is clean, but it's not stripped. But it's just a lovely experience using this. It really just became a really enjoyable experience, like using this in the shower. Really loved it. I've got to say that one of the claims, it does say, use day and night to remove makeup, dirt and impurities. Okay, I did try it one time on my face when it had like I had taken off maybe half of my makeup, and then I used this to wash my face for just to take the rest of it off. I washed my face twice with this. It did take off pretty much most of the makeup, but of course, like, you know, the little edges of your face or whatever, it's not completely coming off, and it definitely doesn't take off waterproof mascara. And I live on waterproof mascara because my eyes tend to water sometimes. So yeah, it will take everything else off if you wash your face twice, but then if you really have a heavy face full of makeup, I don't know, I still think you should cleanse your face, at least remove your makeup first properly, and then go and wash your face. Like I personally wouldn't rely on this. But in general, I'm going to say I love it. I love the lather. I love the smell. I love the feel on the skin. I love how my skin feels when I've washed it off. My skin feels clean and not stripped. So, yes. So, onto the Fat Water Pore Refining Toner Serum. This is an interesting product. I don't usually use toners. I don't usually use serums. So, it was an interesting experience incorporating this into my skincare routine. You can see from here in 3 weeks, this is how much I've used of this. So not too much. This is going to last a good amount longer. You don't need to use a ton of this. I found that when the weather was really warm, this was really refreshing. It adds a little something, like a little bit of moisture to your skin. but it doesn't feel like it's really clogging your skin. It's just, it sits on top in a nice way, and a good amount of it does evaporate away, of course, because of the toner qualities. Yeah, I quite enjoyed using this actually, and to be honest, as I said before, toners don't really work that great for me, but this, I can work with this. I can work with this. I know some people weren't happy about this because of the witch hazel in it, but what I will say is I didn't feel like it had any particularly drying or like astringent qualities that were really strong that my skin couldn't handle. You know, like some products with witch hazel can be quite strong. I didn't feel that with this. I actually enjoyed it. So now onto the Hydra Visor moisturizer. Well, I can't tell how much I've used because it's not see-through, so I can't really say that how much is left. I would say on a daily basis, whenever I'm using it, I'd use at least 2 or 3 pumps, sometimes 2.5, depending on how much moisture I wanted to give to my skin. I quite enjoyed it, but I don't know, I have some mixed feelings about this. I feel like it is moisturizing, but I don't know how I feel about the texture. The texture does have slip, but I feel like the consistency of it, I feel like the way my skin is, I'd prefer to use it in the winter because it just feels like a little bit thicker than my other face cream that I usually use. It can definitely be used in both summer and winter, but I feel like I'd prefer to use this a bit more in the winter, just because, you know, during the winter your skin needs that extra barrier of moisture. It doesn't feel heavy when you pump it out, but when it goes on the skin, it has like this kind of long lasting, I don't know how to describe it, a little bit greasy. Not in the way of like being like completely clogging up your skin like that, but there's a kind of greasiness to it, which is what also contributes to the level of shine and glow that you're seeing. Speaking of which, I'm not gonna lie, yeah, the glow looks good on camera. It looks good on camera, and I do like how this looks. But if you use the fat water and you let this fully evaporate first, and then you use this after, your skin is going to shine, low-key shine like the sun. If you let this stay damp or wet on the skin and then you add this, because the fat water kind of evaporates away a little, it also slightly takes away a little bit of the shine of this. So it kind of depends on how you want your skin to look. I'm thinking technically the way that these are supposed to be used, I'm assuming maybe you're supposed to let this evaporate more and then use this. But what I started to find is that when my skin was still basically wet with this, sometimes I would actually use this because the shine of the Hydra Visor is internet friendly, but I don't think for me it's real life friendly. The level of glow that like you're seeing on camera, and if you see it like on Instagram photos and stuff, like you've seen that all of the images for Fenty Skin in the advertising and everything, everybody's skin is just glowing and glowing and glowing. It just has this like this shine, which looks amazing on camera, amazing on social media, but in real life, I feel like when my mum used to put Vaseline on my face to go to school when I was in primary school. Anybody else have that experience? Comment below and let me know if you know what I'm talking about. That shine right there, that Caribbean child going to school, Vaseline on the face shine. And for me, it's just a little bit too much. Again, that might work better in the winter when the weather is a lot more drying on the skin and you really need that barrier of protection. But I mean, from like spring through to autumn, you just might be a little bit too much shine. For me personally, I did take a quick video clip of myself out in the outdoors so that you can see how I look in natural daylight as opposed to my ring light from inside. So I'm going to insert it somewhere in this video so that you can see how I looked. And excuse me because the sun was kind of shining in my eye. There was like a glare going on, so yeah. But for me, I had to find a way to tone it down a bit with the fat water, combining it with the moisturizer. So how is my skin doing after 3 weeks? In general, let me come a bit closer. In general, I'd say we're quite nice. We're doing really well. The only thing I'd say is that I feel like I'm having a few very tiny breakouts a little bit down here. Now admittedly this was here before I started the Fenty Skin, so discount that one. But I feel like I'm getting maybe a few in this area, and I'm not sure if it's the weather, because the weather has been a bit, it's England, you know, or if it's the actual products. Now admittedly I am sort of kind of prone to breakouts sometimes down here, either when my skin gets a little bit too dry, or I don't clean it properly, or I use something that's a bit too heavy and kind of clogs my pores. So it's not obviously visible though, like in general. Side note, I do want to say thank you to all of you guys who are very, very sweet and always complimenting my skin. I appreciate you and thank you. And I think I do have pretty good skin in comparison to most, but my skin is definitely not perfect. So I do get little breakouts and stuff from time to time, but you know, life innit. But in general, I'm gonna say I am pretty much very happy with the way that my skin looks. I don't feel like I had any major breakouts or anything like that. I'm gonna compare how my skin looks now to how it looked in the previous video, just to kind of see how my skin, exactly how my skin was, because you know it's been 3 weeks now. One of the claims of the products is that it's meant to be like pore refining. If I do have any pores, my pores tend to be kind of like around here, tend to be kind of open, especially when it's warm, because this is where I sweat from in the first instance. But I don't feel like my pores are any smaller than they were before. That's fine by me, to be honest. I don't know, I don't ever really believe products when they tell me it's going to refine my pores. I don't know, unless I just don't have a pore problem, I don't know. But if you have tried these products, then comment below and let me know your thoughts on them and how you feel about them. I think it would be interesting for me to try them out going into the colder months, the windier months, the really, really cold months, and see how my skin responds during that period of time. Because, you know, as you know, your skin responds differently to different products in summer and in winter. So it would be interesting to see, especially with regards to the Hydra Visor moisturizer, because if it does perform well, then I would pretty much make this my winter moisturizer, because it does give a real good moisture barrier to the skin. But sometimes for me it just feels a little bit, has a very slight stickiness to it, which is not fully, yeah, but you know, hey. If I were to choose a favorite out of these, I'm gonna have to say it is the Total Cleanser. That is my favorite. I love washing my face with this. It's lovely and gentle, but it does get stuff clean. If you did enjoy this review, then be sure to share it with a friend. If there are any other skincare or makeup videos or brands that you would like me to try, then definitely comment below and let me know your thoughts. And I'll see you again in another video. Wishing you health, happiness and beautiful hair. I'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye.